So welcome to Hard Surface Shading and Texturing Part 2, the practical example. And we're going to take all the stuff we learned in Part 1, and now we're going to use it on an actual hard surface model. So my friend Stefan Bugaj, he wrote a short animated film, and it's called Measured Assessment, and he wanted me to do some concept design for the film. So in it, there's a character called the Mortuary Robot. And I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but one of the things that this robot does is it goes around and collects dead bodies from the street and then disposes of them. So I thought it would be cool to take this this character and go a little bit further than just an initial sketch, and go ahead and do all the modeling and then the shading and texturing. So not only will that be useful for the film, but it's also a really good example for this DVD. So I took all the elements that Stefan said he wanted to see in the character, and I started playing around with them in thumbnail form to come up with something that looked visually pleasing. So I like different ones for different reasons, but the one I decided to go for was the one in the middle. It looked, really bug-like and had some nice proportions to it, and little scurrying arms down the bottom, and a nice big receptacle area for the dead bodies here. So this guy was sort of similar to this one here, and I do like the coffin motif on the side, so I'm going to put that in there, but I just like this guy's proportions better. So this is the one that we're going to use. So then I made a bunch of really rough sketches, and this is the first sketch that I did that had all the elements that made it into the final model. So we have the treads and the head of the robot with his arms, and then the big dumpster area with the coffins, and I also thought it would be a fun little detail to have the generic man icon beside the recycle icon, just to really knock the point home that this is the mortuary robot. And here's the final model. So you see it's got all the same elements from the drawings, with more detail of course. And I also added a bunch of detail back in here. The thought I had was that these dumpsters could be interchangeable. So the robot is really the head and sort of this part of the body and arms and treads and this back area. And once it's finished gathering its load, it drops them all in the dumpster, and then it can drop the dumpster off and pick up a new one and continue on its way. So here's a character in 3D. So we have the arms here, which is the same arm duplicated a bunch of times, and the two sets of treads. And you can see here's the robot head, which is sort of separated from the dumpster, which has the two coffins on it. And then the back area, which is sort of a set of hydraulics to lift up the dumpster, and then the belly of the character right here. So the main thing I want to show you here is if you look at the number of objects, this is well over 2,000 objects. And so the techniques I'm going to be showing you are techniques that I use in order to shade something like this and texture it really quickly, considering the huge number of objects that you have to do. I also give the character a real simple scene to sit in. Just something so there's a little more context for where the character is. So this is the road, and then a gutter, and then a sidewalk. And we're going to be shading and texturing these guys as well. So here's what it all looks like together. So here are some simple color schemes for the character. And this is something you might get from your shading art director if you're working at a big company, or from a concept artist. Since this is my own work, I just made these up quickly, and they don't have to look very good. They just have to get across the general color scheme that you're going for, so you have something to look at to decide what would be the best color. So I started off by doing one that's sort of dark, blackish, because that sort of goes along with the idea of death and mortuaries. And also, I saw a lot of trucks that had this sort of reflective tape with a warning stripe on it, and so I thought that was a cool detail to put in, so it didn't look all the same color. The one problem I found with this is that the dirt seems to really blend in with this back area, and so I'm not really sure if this is the best one to go for, so I decided to do a couple of extras. So the next one I did, I think looks kind of cool, but really the blue color has nothing to do with death or mortuary, and part of doing this is you really want to make sure that the color scheme and everything else about the robot really works with the theme of the robot. And so this color really has nothing to do with the theme. It just looks kind of neat. So this red one is kind of cool. Red is blood, and blood is involved with death. So that might be a cool one to do. And also, you can really see the dirt; it stands out well against the red. So this is another possibility. I saw a dumpster that was this color, and I thought I'd give it a shot since this is sort of garbage trucky in a lot of ways. Um, Problem is that the green, especially with the red and the white, it looks too Christmassy, and Christmassy is Christmas is a time for happiness and joy, and that's not really the kind of aesthetic we're going for here. Then this guy here is more sort of construction-y. Again, it looks good with the dirt, and it would certainly be good for some sort of construction robot, but for the whole death motif, I don't think this works very well. And then finally, we have sort of this ambulance colors. So it's white with little tinges of red, and ambulances certainly deal with mortality and whatnot. So I thought I might give it a shot, but overall, I mean, the idea of an ambulance is it's supposed to help, and that's not what this character is about. So at the end of the day, I decided that I would go for this color. And I might have to play with the dirt color a little bit to make it stand out better against this dark area here, but overall I think that this color scheme works best for this particular character.